also to provide any additional resources and whatever Governor Fallin needs. She did ask that Oklahomans stay away from those areas hardest hit by this tornado, allowing law enforcement and first responders to do their job. They're doing everything in their power to assist those first responders and law enforcement at this hour. But again, Governor Mary Fallin, providing her voice, a pillar of strength in this time of heartache and destruction, and it's just it's indescribable. It's something that I've been in this market for almost a decade now, and this is something that I've never witnessed. So whatever this was,
by all accounts, Scott, it's a historic storm in many regards.
And the coverage of this storm, the video, multiple platforms, people all across the country are seeing what's happening in Oklahoma, whether it be through the 24-hour cable stations that are simulcasting broadcasts, whether it be online or whatever. In fact, we just got an email from somebody in Missoula, Montana, who said, "We in Missoula are praying for you, Oklahoma. Our hearts break for all of you. We love you. God bless you." So already getting a lot of support from around the country.
For the past couple of hours, we've been looking at the devastation. Irish, I'm wondering if we can pull up the video we showed before of the storm as it moved through Moore, Oklahoma. It may take just a couple of minutes to do that. But Emily Sutton gave you a good idea of the storm as she chased it as it moved in from the west side. And there you see it from Bob Moore Chopper 4. It was a huge storm, and it got that size in less than an hour, and it became that large by picking up some of the debris. Of course, there were other meteorological reasons, but it became so dark and black because it was picking up the debris of homes and residences and schools and everything that was in its path as it moved through Moore, Oklahoma, 20-mile path. And you see those little flashes at the bottom. That's when it hits a power line transformer and explodes. And that's how we often tell if a tornado is on the ground or not, whether those explosions are taking place.
Well, we didn't need it on this one, though, because you
not.
could definitely see just the black funnel, enormous. Mike said at one time it was 2 miles.
2.25
at the bottom. And seeing the destruction it left behind, when we saw it go through that neighborhood, we knew that it was going to be something very, very bad. Let's go to Jesse Wells. Jesse is on the scene for us. He has been in Moore all afternoon, ever since that storm just went through. Jesse Wells.
Well, Kevin, again, we're here in front of the Plaza Towers Elementary, where we've been for the last several hours. What strikes me about the operation here over the last hour or so is that it seems chaotic, but it's actually sort of an organized chaos. In fact, the National Guard, I saw plenty of camouflage National Guardsmen walking around. Very organized effort as far as trying to search through this elementary. I'll step out of the way again. You can see in the number of ambulances and emergency crews that continue to line up outside of this school as they try to find, again, any of the kids and or the teachers that were trapped inside of this school. Again, they have deemed this as we've said over the last couple of hours, a search and recovery operation. Absolutely incredible. When you talk to some of the kids and teachers that were inside of this school when that tornado went through, they say that the walls and the roof literally getting ripped off around them. They were lucky to survive. We talked to a couple of those kids. Take a listen.
Rushing everybody, and then I came out and I saw the cars and I saw the houses and I just started crying so hard.
All right, honey. You are never ever going to go through this again, even if I have to quit work.
It was coming, it was hitting, and everybody said, "Put your head down, put your head down," but some people got hurt, but we made it alive.
Again, absolutely incredible stories. Those are two of the kids that managed to survive. We talked to several other kids that managed to survive earlier. They say that they were gripping the walls, trying to survive this. Here, just outside me, I have one of the county commissioners who's been out here surveying the scene. Once again, coming in here, Brian Mon, one of the county commissioners. First of all, I assume you've been touring the scene, taking a look at what are you seeing basically out here?
Well, just, of course, complete and total devastation, as your network has really been great in helping us with saving lives. And I'm just down here helping. You know, we're in Oklahoma County, and so now we're down here in Cleveland County, and we're just playing assistant role to them. The Cleveland County Commissioners asked me to come down and help work in this area, and so our crews are just supplementing what they're doing. Emergency vehicles obviously can't get past any area that's got a barrier blocking it, and it normally takes large equipment. So even for public safety vehicles, they need assistance from the road crews. So that's what we're in here working on.
What do people need to keep in mind, I guess, if people are seeing this at home and wondering if they can help? I mean, what should people keep in mind, in your opinion, I guess, right now?
Right now, they can go to Red Cross or Christmas Connections websites. They're both accepting donations on behalf of these victims that are going to need some help down the road. But right now it is just too dangerous, and I've been known in the past to really call on people to come out and help in these kind of situations. But the gas leaks, as you can smell right now, are just tremendous, and of course there's glass and there's shards, everything, and we're getting ready to lose what little sunlight we have left. It's just simply too dangerous for volunteers down here at this point, in my opinion. But I think probably in the days ahead there's going to be a lot of need.
Well, again, this is obviously with Oklahoma County, this is an effort where organizations, municipalities from all over this are basically coming together, trying to get as many resources as possible to respond to this.
Well, the counties are all political subdivisions of the state of Oklahoma, and obviously the governor has called for all hands on deck, and so we're out here to help her in her efforts for recovery. And so this is just a deal where today we're all Oklahomans. I've been here for 6 years. You've been here a lot. You've been here a long time. Talk about what you're seeing. I mean, talk about the nature of this compared to what you've ever seen in the past. These are hard decisions to make because it's an eeny, meeny, miny, mo process. Where do you begin? This is so mammoth, you can't possibly put your arms around it. It didn't just take just a narrow track. Even like the May 3rd took a fairly narrow track. So this is really just so broad scale that, you know, you have to make tough decisions about, do I save the pets or the animals, or do we figure out where this gas leak is, or do we get these people who are bleeding over to, you know, you have to worry about all these decisions, and they change as you go from one property to the next. Obviously, because you just have limited resources. States and cities and counties just have limited resources to deal with this. Again, I appreciate your time. Again, County Commissioner Brian Mon, thanks very much for stepping in and joining us here. Thank you for saving a lot of lives today with your coverage. I appreciate that as well. Thanks again. That was Oklahoma County Commissioner Brian Mon talking about the damage that he's seeing out here. Again, as he said, there's just a limited number of resources that people have to deal with this. You can see all the ambulances, sheriff's officers, police officers from all kinds of municipalities. But there's just so much that can be done. But as Brian said, normally he encourages people to come down and try to help out, see what they can do. He says in this case, don't do it. It's just too treacherous down here. I can tell you where we are right now, it took us a long time to get down here earlier today, and it's not gotten really any better. You want to stay out of this area. I know people want to help, but you want to stay out of this area if you can. Again, we'll keep track of everything going on down here. Back to you guys. All right. We appreciate that, Jesse. And as the commissioner said, it's hard to wrap your arms around it and your mind around it at this point.
But so many of you have been calling us trying to help. And of course, you can donate directly to the Red Cross. But we're working with the Salvation Army. You can donate to the Red Cross by texting the words Red Cross to 90999. A $10 donation will appear on your phone bill. Also, we've been working with the Salvation Army. We will have a truck here at News Channel 4 here no later than 10 o'clock tomorrow that will be staffed by 2 UCO students, if not more, as the need arises. And there are specific things that the Salvation Army needs right now. Please don't bring used clothing or anything else. This is what they need: water bottles, Gatorade, diapers, wipes, baby formula, hand towels, individual wrapped snacks, and work gloves. If you can bring any of those items, we need them desperately. Bring them to News Channel 4. We'll have a Salvation Army truck out in front. Our thanks to UCO for helping us do this project. And we look forward to those of you who've been calling, coming tomorrow and helping us out.
And we'll show you that list again on our website, and we'll show a graphic of it, I'm sure, a little bit later. The last thing we want right now is for the rescue effort and the search and recovery effort to be hampered by the weather.
But Mike
and
Morgan,
unfortunately, it sounds like that there could be some rain on the way tomorrow morning, Mike, and I know you're still dealing with some weather right now as well in the southeastern part of the state.
It's been a busy day for you.
It's been very busy. It is the active severe weather right now is trailing off, at least in our viewing area. Now, there are still active tornado warnings, potential for tornadoes over in the mountains of southeastern Oklahoma and also up in northwestern Arkansas. You see the warnings down there around LaFleur County and Haskell County and Latimer County and up towards Sequoia County and then over into Fort Smith and Van Buren, Arkansas. Let's go to the storm track tracker, and this line continues to push to the east. You see the scope of the line of severe weather running from Missouri down through Branson. There's the Moore storm right there, northeast of Branson. That big one right there, that's the Moore storm. And then all the way back down east of McAllister. McAllister, you're fine. Hughes County, you're fine. All the way down to Atoka County and Bryan and Choctaw counties, and then down to Lake Texoma Dam. And these storms down here are still severe, and they're moving to the east at 33 miles per hour. They have big hail. This is why we have a tornado warning for this. When you see the curvature in that storm, kind of that big ball there of hail and wind and a lot of lightning. And then these are severe all the way back down to south of Ardmore. Now this line here is trying to lift a little to the north. Let's go to Weather Show and let's talk about the forecast, because that line is lifting to the north, and that's the beginning of this moisture that's going to try to feed back towards central Oklahoma late tonight near the sunrise time frame. Watch this right there. Here's sunrise in the morning. We'll have a few thunderstorms develop, and then watch how this moisture just enhances. And during the morning hours tomorrow, we may have several waves of moderately heavy thunderstorms, and there might even be some hail around. There may even be some hailstorms around tomorrow morning. It's exactly what we do not need, but there's an impulse in the jet stream that's coming out for tomorrow morning that's going to lift all this moisture back to the north. So I would say the chance of thunderstorms down in the Moore area is around 60%, Kevin and Linda. So I think we're going to have storms come in right around or just before sunrise and last till about noon or 1 o'clock. You know, and let me just say this: when the county commissioner was talking about advance warning, that is what we do. We all know that's what we do. But you get a pit in your stomach because there's something so horribly wrong about only 45 minutes of advance warning for something as horrible as what just happened. 45 minutes, that's just wrong. There's just 45 minutes. No, it is no time to make decisions that will save your life. It's not right.
Particularly when the places you've gone to before have provided adequate protection, whether it's a closet inside your home.
That's right.
You had to be underground on this.
That's right, and so your options are so limited. And again, the kids were still in school, which made this a much more difficult day for that decision to save your life than May 3rd, 1999. Truly a completely different situation because since kids were still in school. That was 6:30.
That was right. It was around 6 o'clock in the evening.
Also on a Monday.
Exactly.
Did I understand correctly, the storm that hit through Moore has remained intact and has moved up through Branson? Is that what you said?
That's right, up through Branson, Missouri, and there is debris that is still coming out of the sky and feathering down from Moore all the way up past Tulsa into northwest Arkansas and southwest Missouri. It's being carried inside of that storm up at the jet stream level, which the winds up there are about 85 to 110 miles per hour, even a little faster, higher up in the jet stream. But that's the wind shear, along with all this humidity and heat that we have had. You know the combination. Our viewers are the most intelligent weather viewers of anybody in the world because we all have to be that way. Because they join us in this coverage because we unfortunately see it far too much. So it's the combination of the two. It's the jet stream and then the heat and humidity. And the jet stream again today, just like yesterday, was right over central Oklahoma. So everything focused again, obviously, as we know now, right here in central Oklahoma once again. Hank, what was that? Yeah, so we're replaying for you the video here from John Welsh and Bob Moore Chopper 4 and the motion here of the tornado F4 and F5 motion. And to think that this wasn't even a cloud an hour before it hit Moore down by Bridge Creek. That's where it first went up, was over Bridge Creek, which is exactly where May 3rd tracked through and killed over a dozen folks in Bridge Creek up there on the Bailey Turnpike. This wasn't even in existence an hour before an F5 went through Moore. So 45 minutes time advance warning. Yes, that's great. That's what we do. We're glad we're able to contribute, but there is something it's just a gut-wrenchingly horribly wrong with only 45 minutes, Kevin Lindo, with that kind of power.
And just to thank you, Mike, and to update you, the latest word we had on fatalities so far, Mike, was 51. That coming from the state medical examiner's office. Unfortunately, those numbers are probably going to go up because we know that we do have some tragic deaths still to be accounted for, particularly in that elementary school in Moore.
Allie Meyer has been following the family who hope to be reunited with their two children. I don't know if you can update us on that yet, Allie, but I do know you have other information.
Yes, Linda, let's start with that. I have good news and bad news. The good news is they got a ride from Oklahoma City Police. The bad news is we didn't, and so they left and expedited their journey to meet their two little girls, and we were not able to keep up with them. The traffic and the security, as you would imagine, is just horrendous and needed in this area. So I do not know if they met up with their 2 little girls, but you heard from the stepfather they had every hope and belief that their 2 little girls were just fine. I have an update on the fatality situation for you. We have walked to Briarwood Elementary. That's where I am here right now, where we're told all the children are accounted for. However, I just finished talking with someone from the medical examiner's office and Oklahoma City Police working in that area. They would not confirm the identity of the victim, but they found another victim along Southwest 149th Street, which is the same as 119th and more. It changes to 149th right here in the area in front of Briarwood Elementary. The victim was not in a home, so I believe this is someone that was either in a car or maybe whose body was flung and found in a yard or just off the roadway there along Southwest 149th Street. Although they wouldn't confirm the identity of the victim, I did ask if it was a child. The officer responded, no, it was not. So we know an adult victim found on the road at Southwest 149th Street. I also know that the medical examiner's office, the agent was leaving that scene there where they positively identified the body. They were moving on to another scene where they had yet another body to identify. So a real grim situation here. We're in the area right around Briarwood Elementary. The neighborhood to the south of the elementary school, south of 149th, looks to be in okay shape. The area near where that victim was found is not in bad shape. However, the elementary school is destroyed, and the neighborhood just to the east of the elementary school is decimated. Plywood and 2x4s are all that you can see. Little mounds where each house once stood. I've got a little light left, and authorities have brought out some artificial fluorescence at this point, and you can see families just standing on top of their pile of rubble, looking for a few belongings that might be what's left, maybe beginning the healing process. But the medical examiner's office was headed into that neighborhood just east of Briarwood Elementary to continue their work, the real grim task of identifying the victims and counting the victims.
Allie, let me ask you a question then with regard to the fatality count. We had previously reported 51 confirmed dead. So do you know if the 2 possibilities of fatalities are being included in that number? So would that raise the number to 53? Or do you think that was already included?
Linda, I just don't know. I would think that they would wait that the emergency officials would wait for word from the medical examiner's office to confirm each death. So perhaps this is 2 added on to that 51 total. But I just can't tell you for sure. You know, when you talk to individual police officers, they'll know exactly what's going on in their area and have no idea about the overall scope. Right. There are just so many agencies responding. Yeah, they don't have a great picture. Individual officers don't. Of course, which is why the majority of the information, official information, gets funneled out of those larger offices.
Allie Mai reporting live from one of the areas hard hit by this twister. Kevin? Let's
go to Lance West right now. I know, Lance, they're beginning to run out of sunlight there in the search and recovery effort. What's the latest from your position?
Hey guys, we are running out of light out here, but they are bringing in light trucks. You can probably see behind me they are lighting up what's left of this elementary school as they continue to retrieve the victims from that debris. I want to give you some good news tonight because we've had so much horrific news over the past several hours. We did a little bit of checking, and a very good source of mine with the Oklahoma City Police Department says that there are injuries but no fatalities from Briarwood Elementary, which is about a mile to our west. So there were some injured people there, but apparently all the students, all the teachers and administrators are accounted for, and no fatalities as a result of the tornado. We do know right now that there are 7 confirmed fatalities at the school behind me, but this may be a glimmer of hope. And I don't want to say this too lightly. I don't want to speculate, but this is what I'm being told right now. Initially, we heard between 20 and 30 kids were unaccounted for. They couldn't find them. They were still looking. We're not able to reach them. It is my understanding from a very good source of mine out here at the scene that some of those kids may have been accounted for elsewhere. So the fatality number may be going down a little bit out here. Again, it's still early. The medical examiner's office is here. They've got trucks, ambulances from AMSA and other jurisdictions, as they retrieve the victims and take them to the ME's office. We do know 51 is the number we're hearing as far as confirmed fatalities. We do expect that number to go up. But hopefully, if this news is accurate, what I'm hearing out here, that number is not going to be as high as initially reported.
And wouldn't those be answered prayers?
That would be awesome.
That would be great news.
It would be terrific. And Lance, we appreciate that. And just one more time, all children that are being found, as Lance said, who may have climbed out of some rubble, are being taken to 119th and South May to St. Andrew's Methodist Church to be reunited with their parents. So if you know some friends in the Moore area that may be looking for their kids, or they've texted you and told you that and are frantic, as any of us parents would be, please tell them to go to 119th and South May to the St. Andrew's Methodist Church and possibly be reunited with their kids there. They're saying right now the best way to do that is through texting in that area, because the cell service there not very good, as you can imagine.
And Lance was reporting a couple of hours ago that many of the children from that devastated elementary school, the older grades, 4th, 5th, and 6th, had left the building prior to the tornado striking. At that time, he mentioned a church. So we hope that all of those kids have been taken to that church and will be safely within the arms of their moms and dads by later tonight.
That will be wonderful.
Keep our fingers crossed.
Sarah Stewart standing by for us right now to bring us up to date from her location and any new information she may have out there. Sarah.
Yeah, guys, we are in the parking lot of the Moore Medical Center where we've been all evening, and darkness is falling on us here. But as they are in several other locations, I'm hearing they're setting up lights out here so they can continue to sift through that debris even as night falls. I'm going to step out of the way a little bit here, and you can see back behind me, that's the neighborhood that we were in earlier, the neighborhood just directly to the west of the Moore Medical Center, back here behind it, where a lot of people rode out the storms in storm shelters but had to physically hold down the door to their storm shelters because the storm was about to rip the doors off, and actually in one case it did. You can see out here we've got the fire department. They are doing another check of the Moore Medical Center here. We're told this is their second sweep through of the Moore Medical Center. We're told that that everyone has been accounted for that was in this building, that most of the people got out before the storm. There were some people in there during the storm, but that they are okay. But the fire department has been out here checking through. They've done another check of the bowling alley that is out here as well. They have said they've gone through a couple different checks of that, did not find anybody in that debris, so that is good news out here. When we were in that neighborhood directly behind us earlier, they were searching through some homes. They thought some people were unaccounted for, but we believe at this point in time that the people in this neighborhood back here have been accounted for. The two people that they were searching for earlier, they did show up. They had actually left their homes and rode out the storm elsewhere. So that is good news there. But yeah, darkness is falling here. They've got lights set up. As you see, the fire department is just combing through this debris out here at the Moore Medical Center. Guys, back to you.
Good job, Sarah. Now, John Welch is back up in the sky as he has been since about 2 o'clock this afternoon. And John, the scene has changed a lot. You can see where the rescue efforts are underway, or the recovery efforts, based simply on where the lights are.
It is, Lennon. It's actually kind of an eerie spot from about 27th Street South. Everything is black. Excuse me, we're going right here at between like May and towards Penn. 27th Street South, almost to about Indian Hills Road, all the way east to Sooner Road. It's there's no lights on any houses. The only lights you're seeing are from cars.
That signal will come back here in just a second. There it is. Go ahead, John.
And, if you guys can still hear me, there's rows of red lights one way, white lights the other way. All these east-west roads with people trying to get home. And everything is, these roads are just it's a standstill here. But you can really see the recovery efforts as Travis is kind of backed out. In the center of your shot where that white light is, that brighter light, that's the Plaza Towers Elementary School where search efforts or rescue efforts are still underway. They're trying to pull all the people and all the bodies and everything back out of that school. So they have a couple lights. As you can see, they've got an excavator, and as well as a bobcat and some backhoes there. So they've got some heavy machinery there to help lighten their load. As Travis will back out a little bit, and he's going to pan up and to the right, we're going to show you the other elementary school right there. That it also has 3 lights. We do have some rescue crews on it as well. But pretty much the whole city of Moore is black. But the only lights we're having are obviously from some people probably with some emergency generators, as well as the police lights or car lights in the driveway. But kind of an eerie sight here as you kind of look back towards the west, to where the tornado started towards Newcastle. You can see slight